Well, hello guys, it's Troy Francis and I'm here in Soho in London, back in the old stamping ground once again. And what I wanted to do was just have a bit of a walk around and record a little video talking about the fact that you need to play the hand that you've been dealt, both in dating and also just in life more generally. But, you know, the emphasis on this channel is on dating, so let's start there. So people will often come at this kind of content and they'll be like, well, you know, I'm not good looking, I'm not tall, I'm not rich, I'm not this, I'm not that, blah, blah, blah. And they will talk about how hard the dating marketplace has become over the last, 10, 15 years, and how it's pretty much impossible now for regular guys to have almost any kind of a dating life, really. And look, I mean, we will make videos about this. I've certainly made a lot of videos about this subject matter, and there is a lot of truth in it. I mean, it is tough out there, to be sure. It's very tough out there. There's a lot of competition, and you know, the standards that women have these days, quite frankly, are extremely high. And it depends what kind of league you're playing in, really, because the counterpoint to all of this is, but yeah, you walk out the house and regular dudes are still, getting into relationships and still getting laid. And they are, that's true. But I mean, what kind of quality really are we talking about? Are they playing in the big leagues? Are they meeting these kind of, exciting kind of Euro models that probably many of us would like to meet? Or are they playing in the sort of lower leagues? Are they playing in the Premier Division? Sorry, are they playing in the Premier League, or are they playing in the First Division, or are they playing in, an even lower league than that? And in many cases, unfortunately, they're not playing in the big leagues, boys. And the people who are playing in the big leagues are people who are quote unquote high value. Okay, people are quote unquote high value men. Now, there's obviously a lot of conversation online, a lot of debate around what exactly that means. But fundamentally, I think what it means, first off, is accepting yourself, knowing what it is that you bring to the party, honing that to the greatest possible extent that you can, and then going out there all guns blazing, unashamedly, unapologetically, and presenting that to the market. The market, of course, being, those women that you want to interact with. I think that is a very, very good first step to being high value, because the sort of value that you're going to offer is going to be different probably to the value that I offer, okay? The value that I offer is going to be different to the value that the next guy offers, okay? So we're not all bringing exactly the same form of value to the table, and sometimes this gets misunderstood because people think, well, all you need to do is, big muscles, big bank account, big equipment downstairs, and then you're good to go. Again, might be some truth in that, but I mean, it's on a serious note, we're all kind of niche in terms of the sort of value that we're bringing. Okay, so I bring probably slightly more sorry, my coffee there. I bring a slightly more sort of European kind of melancholy intellectualism to my trysts than somebody like, say, Tusk does, who's bringing more of a kind of animalistic sort of bear-like kind of vigor to his. And there's a place for both approaches, okay? It's not that, one person loses out because they're not exactly like the other. And this is what we always say, you don't want to try to be exactly like some other dude. That's incredibly... It's just a very sad way to live your life. A lot of people, there's online content creators, they're enthralled to these online content creators. They want to be exactly like, Andrew Tate, they want to be exactly like Tristan, they want to be exactly like Jay Waller or whoever it is, Myron. And those guys are great in their own right, but you don't want to be a carbon copy of those dudes, okay? The value that you're bringing is not going to be exactly the same as those guys. And if it is, actually, that's a bit of a problem, because then, you're competing in a sort of very narrow marketplace, and there are very, very definite winners and losers in that marketplace. It's better, actually, to go for a more purple cow kind of approach. Talking now about the marketing book by Seth Godin, look it up, the Purple Cow by Seth Godin. It's better to go for a more, kind of like niche approach, really, if you want to do this stuff, rather than trying to be a less good version of somebody else, okay? So that is something to bear in mind when you're thinking about this stuff. But bringing it back, essentially, yeah, you've got to just play to the hand that you've been dealt. Okay. Now it might be that you are somebody who is super intelligent. Okay, you're super intelligent, and you're very quick-witted, and you're very good conversationally. But you're not the most athletic dude in the world. Okay, maybe you're not. Your physique isn't the greatest in the world, or you're not the tallest guy, or whatever. Right? It could be something like that. So in that instance, what you want to do is say, okay, well look, my strength is more in this area. My strength is more in the area of the intellect, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean into that, and I'm going to find, those women who appreciate more of that than the kind of dumb jock type look, okay? So you have your target market, and you focus on that target market, and you kind of concentrate on it, and those are the people that you seek to attract, okay? There's no point in trying to seek to attract women in a marketplace that is just completely antithetical to whatever it is that you're offering, okay? So I can be extremely high value to some women who like the particular thing that I have, and, frankly, not particularly high value to other women who don't, okay? And that's absolutely fine, all right? It's not, we don't have to be these kind of invincible figures who are loved by everybody. We just don't. In fact, it's better, actually, to niche down. I'm trying to get killed here. It's better, actually, to kind of niche down. And, it's better to niche down and not try to be all things to all people, because when you try to do that, you end up being sort of nothing to anybody, really, which is no good. And look, there's different ways to come at life, okay? You can come at life with the attitude of, it's all crap, everything's really difficult, the dating marketplace is pretty much impossible, I'm never going to meet anybody, I'm going to be alone, I'm going to never experience true love, I'm going to be, I'm going to be on my deathbed, just wondering about what could have been, as I, cry myself off to the, shuffling off this mortal coil and all that kind of stuff. And you can really despair about it. Or you can grab your balls, you can grab your nutsack, and you can think, do you know what? Actually, this is really fucking exciting, because there's a whole world out here of people that I can interact with. Now, a lot of them aren't gonna like me, a lot of them aren't gonna like, my particular shtick, whatever that may be, but a lot of them fucking do, okay? Really, a lot of them do. And some of them are extremely attractive and beautiful and very intelligent and very cultured and very fun to be with and very charismatic and so on and so forth. It's about going out there and finding those people. It's about going out there and finding your tribe, okay? And they are out there. They really are. And to me, it's always been, as I say, it's always been kind of exciting, really, to think about it like that. It's always been kind of exciting to think, Jesus, if I go out there and I knock on enough doors, as it were, I'm going to be meeting people who really like me, and with those people I can be forming relationships, and I can be just having an amazing time, okay? And look, I'm in the city now. You see that? Pretty busy. In the city now, and it's evening. The working day is kind of finishing. People are going out. People are going to go for drinks. They're going to, go get food. Going to go out for entertainment. Girls are going to clubs, going to bars, and stuff like that. There are so many possibilities out here, okay? And for me, that's always been the most exciting thing. It's not leaning into the, oh, woe is me, I'm not good enough because of X, Y, Z reasons. It's like, well, no, look, I've got baseline value in these things. There are other areas, okay? There are other areas in which, yeah, for sure, maybe, arguably, let's put that down there, I need to improve. And look, there are areas where we can all improve, right? I spent a lot of time working on my fitness, okay? Was fitness always my greatest priority when I was growing up? No, not really. It certainly is now. There's a lot of stuff you can do in terms of We talk about grooming. There's a lot of stuff you can do in terms of fashion, making yourself look as good as possible. So yes, of course, you want to be doing all of those things, and you want to be really focusing on all of those things every day, to the greatest extent that you can. But over and above all of that, really, you've got to think, look, I am in the game, all right? I'm not dead, okay? I am in the game. There are a myriad of possibilities out there, and I'm fortunate, of course, because I'm walking around central London, as you can see, and there are a myriad of possibilities here. Now, I know some of you guys are like, yeah, well, I live in this town with 3,000 people, blah, blah, blah. So, well, you know, that's a bit of a problem. Maybe you need to consider moving. Maybe you need to consider doing something else, getting the hell out of there and going somewhere else, okay? But regardless, the world is a very big place. There are people out there, there are women out there who will like you. There are women out there who will be into what you have to offer, okay? That's not to let you off the hook of self-improvement, because we all need to do self-improvement the whole fucking time, but it is to say they are there, okay? And the less time, frankly, you spend on the internet reading bollocks by very doomerish people who just want to kind of live in an echo chamber where they convince themselves that not taking any action, not doing anything is okay. What you want to do instead is be entrepreneurial about this stuff. What you want to do instead is get out there, get amongst it, and find your people. Find the women that like you, okay? Because I promise you, they are out there, all right? They may not be in the country where you live in great numbers. Okay, so you need to travel. You don't have the money to travel. Okay, so how do you get the money to travel, all right? It needs to be, you need to get the drive, okay? You need to get the drive to do this stuff. And if you don't have the drive, then maybe, just maybe, this is a thought experiment, it could be a hormonal thing. Maybe you need to get the old hormones checked. Maybe you need to get the old T levels checked. Maybe you need to get on the tren. Not really, that's not medical advice. I'm only joking. But maybe you need to have a look at the hormonal side of things, you know? So, and if you do, drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com, and we can have a chat about that. Put you in touch with the guy that we work with. But with all of that being said, look, just think about, instead of thinking about limitations, think about opportunities, all right? It's really the only way to live life. It really is. It's the only way to live a productive life in any sphere, okay? You've got to focus on the opportunity. Now, the opportunity might, in your assessment, be small. You know, you might live in a medium-sized to small city. There might not be that many, you know, women there that you're interested in. You don't think there's that many that are interested in you. So that opportunity might be small, but it's still there. It's still there. There's still an opportunity, okay? And that's what you've got to focus on. So play with the hand that you've been dealt. Don't focus too much on what is wrong with you, aside from the necessary self-improvement that we all have to do. Instead, focus on, okay, what are the amazing, amazing things that could happen if I apply myself to this stuff and I really get out there and in amongst it. Anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to bring this one to an end. Thank you very much for tuning in. Look at the lovely Christmas tree over there. Bar Italia, very classic London menu. Make sure, if you haven't already, that you subscribe to the channel, put on the notifications, because I'm probably, you know, shadow banned all over the place. And get on my email list as well. There's an email list below. Link to the email list. I'm doing daily email newsletters. Get on that. There are various courses and opportunities at the moment, so look at the links below. Anything that interests you, jump on board. Otherwise, email me, troy@realtroyfrancis.com. I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.